Hey everyone, this is Eric Silvermoon, and today I actually want to talk to you guys about pendulums and the recent one that I made for myself, and I'll share with you how I made it and what it looks like. I also want to talk to you guys about my Book of Shadows and my journey with it. So I probably had, oops, sorry, I shook the camera. I probably have had, I want to say maybe 5 to 6 different books of shadows in my practice, and I've never finished them. I've never, and when I say finish them, I mean like I've never filled them up. I've always had only a certain amount of documentation in them, and then I just kind of fell off the BOS bandwagon, if you will. Um, and so I kind of looked into the reasons why it was so hard for me to put that kind of put my practice down on paper and put my experiences down. And um, what I realized is that I was trying to make them look too much like they were supposed to look. Like it should have the dedication letter and then the altar tools and, the herbs and stuff like that. And for me, I was like, well, I have a couple books that already tell me that. So they are my reference books. And so then I started realizing that I don't necessarily need a reference book, like a Book of Shadows reference of my practice. What I currently feel like I need now is actually just like a diary, in a sense, that I could put in all of my power thoughts and how I'm feeling magically and the things that are coming up, the things that I'm working on and testing out. And so that's the new direction that I'm going with. And some of you guys have seen it before. It's this book right here. I really love it. It's this beautiful brown leather. Binding that is from India. The pages are really soft. This is what I've been using as my new Book of Shadows, and I'll kind of share with you the journey through it. Of course, I won't share certain pages if they're a little personal, but so far I just barely started. I mean, eventually I'll add more decor to the actual pages inside. So some of you on Facebook saw that I was working on creating my own pendulum board. The thing with me is that if I really like something witchy that I want, and that was Stella yawning if you heard that. If I really want something, I'll kind of sit with it and see if it's something I could create myself. And so for a spirit board or a pendulum board, I really wanted to look at how much they were and what they looked like. And there's some really gorgeous pieces, and some of them are really expensive, and some of them are not. But I kind of saw that they're very simple in the sense, and um, with my creative abilities, it doesn't seem so difficult to make. And so I started drawing out on a piece of paper of what I feel I would need in terms of being able to use a spirit board or a pendulum board. And it just kind of kept popping in the images, and I was then being spirit led and to creating one. And so I'll share with you what that looks like. And so let me open this up. And so I'll share a little bit with just what I have so far. So I have the entry, and for you Joanna DeVoe fans, I mean, this for me was important to have in my Book of Shadows front page because it's Hippie Witch and it says peace, love, and all that good shit. And this is from Joanna DeVoe. I resonate with this image so much because it speaks to, and I apologize for the shaky camera. It speaks to the inner coyote in me. For those that have been following me, I adopted that to represent my higher self and who I want to hopefully become in my spirituality. And so this really resonates with me a lot. And so then I just have my front page that just has my name, BOS, and some moths that I resonate with. And here I just did a dedication to myself. I wrote some of my thoughts I want. On this side, I have the divination page that it kind of just shows where I'm gonna have my divination stuff. And I just dropped some things, so I don't even know what that stuff was. And then this next page is my actual spirit board, which I'll share with you. So here it is. Let me move out of the way. So this is what it looks like. I have the alphabet in the top. I have some numbers on this side, and then the chakras on this side. And then I have a yes or no in each direction. And of course, I have to have the moon in this and the sun because it's a big part of my practice. In the center, I have this amazing gypsy seer. I don't know if you could see it with the lighting, but it has a very faint pentagram in the center, and her eyes are just mesmerizing and really haunting. And I always resonated with that image, and so I wanted to put that in the center of this. And so, and then behind here, there's nothing, and I'm working on my runes, and just to have that and write down the description of what they mean for me. Um, but this is kind of what the board looks like. All of it is just with my personal illustrations, and then these here are clips that I got from the internet, and I just have these sticker, kind of like clear sticker print, so it prints on the actual sticker, and I could just cut it, and then it goes on clear on any surface. That's what I did with this one here. I printed it out, and you can barely see that it's a very faint, clear sticker. So I did that. It's very simple, and I really love it. And then this here I did with ink pad. I have a different kind of little templates and ink stamps that I like to use, and so I wanted to give it a very used, faint look to it. I want it to look very witchy and ancient, and very, I want it to look very used. And so I think the font with the old English, I guess, I'm not sure what it's called, the calligraphy, there we go. That's what I wanted to use, and so I haven't used this yet. I did charge it, and so I'll share with you how I charge it. Once I finish the actual board, I went ahead and put both of my hands over the center of it, and I did a prayer, and I spoke to the board. I said, "You are for my pendulum," and I let it know what I require from it. And what I require from it is guidance, quick guidance, yes and no answers, quick questions that I have that I need answers to, anything like that to help me with my divinational work for my personal and growth and development. And so that's kind of the energy I imbued on it, and then I allowed the energy of my hand to um, kind of code my being into it, almost like by allowing my energy to kind of fill the pages, it becomes mine. It's my property, and I use my breath to seal any of my magic. So after I do that and I feel like the blessing's done, I take a deep breath and I exhale, and so it is, onto the actual pages, and I release all that air into it, and I seal my magic with air, of my personal air. So that's kind of how I did it. And when it came to my pendulum, let me pick up the stuff I dropped. I struggle with finding a pendulum that works for me. The majority of the pendulums I'll find on the internet are very pretty, but I've had those before in my past, and I've given them away, or actually, yeah, I've always given them away. They didn't resonate with me. So I kind of, again, looked around of what I have. I have a lot of different crafts and beads that that I've used in the past or that I haven't used. And I wanted to see if I could create one, and so I did, and it's been in this little bag with two of my favorite crystals for about a week or so, and so I'll unveil it for you now. So the crystals that of course I always work with is citrine and amethyst, and I always have them paired together, either these two or the giant ones, depending on how big the tool is. I put them together in a black bag or some kind of dark cloth, and I keep it by the side of my bed, so that it gets that I get to connect with it in an astral dream level and a higher level. Our energies cross, and we get to know each other in that sense. That's just me. I do that with new tarot decks as well. So the actual pendulum, let me get it untangled from being in there. I wanted something to kind of represent represent me. I'm kind of a dark person in the sense that I like black and I like the silver and moonlight qualities of things, and I like things that look witchy. I'm a big person that for anything that looks witchy, I like to have. So this is my pendulum. And so what it is iolite. I had this piece of iolite that was a perfect little um, shape for it. And so I just did some YouTube searching, figured out how to do some wire wrapping, and I did the best wire wrapping I could do with the amount of capability or again I don't know, whatever I was capable to do at the time. This right here is just a necklace that I had that was like $1 at Hobby Lobby. It's these black little crystals. It's really pretty, and so I just hooked the clasp to the actual crystal, and this side here is just the rest of the necklace, and then this was an earring, a set of 2 earrings that I found at Hobby Lobby that I really resonated with, that kind of matched it, and the pair was for $1. So the total pendulum is that kind of long. So it's a good size pendulum. So I haven't really used it, but um, I like to do it like this so that this part is kind of hanging and I'm able to scry with it or to use it. Um, the way that I charge them is by first I have it all cleansed of any usage of any past um, you know, any characters, anything that has been used in the past. I keep it in this um, with the crystals to kind of charge and kind of get that fresh, clean slate kind of thing. Um, and then what I'm planning to do is that once I have it, I like to hold the whole thing in my hand and I kind of sit in prayer and let it know what it's going to be used for and how I'm going to be using it. And I ask my spiritual tribe to bless it and to focus its divine energy into it so that it is perfect for me to use in my practice. And once I do that and I feel that I'm comfortable with, then I start to train it in the sense of how the yes questions or no questions are going to look like. And so the way that I'm planning to do it, and I'm not saying that it's going to be accurate now, I like to steady it. And with my energy, I record onto it how I want the answers to go. So if I say, pendulum, please show me yes, I'll kind of sit with the energy. Sometimes, like right now, it seems a little bit shaky because it's getting used to my energy. But eventually, and I'm just going to do it with my hand manually, so it's not the pendulum doing this. Yes means this to me. It's a back and forth. And so when I'm ready to say, thank you, pendulum, for that. And when I wanted to say no, it's this kind of sway. It's kind of like a no kind of say, like if you're shaking your head like that. That's what resonates with me. Again, I don't know what the pendulum is going to tell me what no is, and so that's really important. So if I ask the pendulum, please show me what no is, and it does this, then to me, I need to know that, okay, so that's the way this pendulum is going to work with me, and this is how it communicates with me. So this means no, because most of the time this means that either it's not at this time, it's not clear, please rephrase your wording. But if the pendulum says that this is no, and if I say what's yes and it goes counterclockwise, then that's what yes is, and I'll document that and see how that works. And so again, I haven't done that part, so I haven't really researched on whether that's going to be it or not. But when it comes to my board, what I like to do is um, have it kind of hang out with each other and put it in the center here, ask my questions, and usually see what it'll do. What it'll do. And I did the very thin grouping, so if it lands here, I know that it was something with this letter, or if it lands here, depending on the question, it has to do with this number. Or if I ask, what the color of the day is for me to kind of heal or whatever, it'll ask what here or what chakra needs to be balanced or clear, whatever my questions are. That's how I'll figure it out. I put yes and no on this side, not necessarily meaning that that's the direction it's going to go, but it's just a representation of what I'm going to be using it for yes and no questions. And then specifically will be, what letter of this or whatever I'll be using it for. Um, I might actually do a video on how I'm going to actually do like a question and answer with it once I actually sit with it. And then I'll do a video where you won't really see me. You'll just see the board and my altar set up. So we'll kind of test it out together. So that will be kind of fun. I might do that for Wednesday. So actually, you know what? I will do that for Wednesday. That seems like it'll be a kind of fun video to make. But yeah, so that's the direction of where I went with my pendulum and my spirit board. I highly recommend making it your own. Um, I'm a witch that likes to create their own stuff, create their own tools. I do buy, of course, I buy stuff as well, but if I feel like I have the time to make one, I'll go ahead and make something. It was super easy, really, really easy. I don't think you have to be artistic in the way of knowing how to draw. I mean, the moon and sun, I printed those out from the internet, and I just have um, a stack of the sticker paper that you could buy at Office Depot or something. It's not expensive at all. I think it's like $6 for like a stack of 20. And so it was really cool. I've seen people do these really cool collages with just magazine pics or pictures they found on the internet, magazine cutouts, and they did this really cool decoupage page where it's still a spirit board, but all the letters are cut out and it's set up like this. They have like a cool picture of like a goddess, like a model or something, and everything is like cut out. So artistically, it just looks like it's such a cool decoupage of something. So, it really is on what you resonate with and how you are going to be able to feel comfortable with it. Because if the board is a little off-putting, you're not going to connect with it. But if you make it and the energy the intent and energy put into it, then it's going to resonate because it's your energy that created it, and it's your energy that's going to work with it. So that's why I resonate more with tools that I make myself, um, and spell work that I do myself, because it's the whole process, the whole ritual of creating it, the intention, and then the usage of it is for me a little bit more sacred, and it tends to have more of a magical quality because there's an identity to it, and it didn't come from somebody else. So that's just me. I kind of like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's kind of a quick video. Maybe it's not. But I really wanted to share with you guys where my Book of Shadows is going and how I'm planning to use my pendulum. If you guys have created your own pendulum, it's super easy. I mean, I think this cost me, it was probably under $5 because this little tumblestone was $1, the chain was $1 something, and then this little earring came in a set of two, um, with the ring and everything plus the little earpiece, and it was like $1. I want to say $1.50 for the two that came in a set, and then the wiring. It's a good investment. It's really cheap. It's probably under $3 for a big roll of just jewelry wiring. And I bought that all at Hobby Lobby. You could buy it at any craft store. Um, and it was super easy. They have so many different necklace chains that you could do. And you clasp one side to the stone, and then you clasp one side to the charm that you want. And I say, there you go. You have a really cool pendulum. So thank you guys for watching, and blessed be.